move. Trying to see what car that is.
Teammate, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's Brad Keselowski. Just had to get the left front over that huge curb there.
And that's all it takes.
All right. So remind us braking zone, the next 50.
That was that communication I was talking about. Spotter's telling the crew chief had.
Oh, no.
Harvick in the grass.
Harvick had issues at this race when they raced here last summer. Saw himself
Back in the bus stop.
Just entering the bus stop. Oh, man.
A lot of dirt.
Jumped in the gas.
No. There was a lot of dirt on the
dirt?
racetrack. Yeah, those guys have been going through the dirt. Very, very easy to do back there. You saw as soon as he hit that dirt, it just waves.
Oh, and he gets into Truex coming back.
Harvick's around again.
Oh, man.
Harvick deep into the weeds there.
Harvick is not loving this race course. It has not been.
On the initial race start with Bowman alongside.
Well, he got a great start, but you can see he just carried a little more speed than the guys behind him as he tried to get on the brake pedal a little bit harder to slow down. Just started locking those front tires up, Clint.
Yeah, a lot of wheel lock up. I was actually thought it was enough to probably have to pit, but he's still running.
But now watch when he comes back on the track, gets in the side of the 19 of Mark Truex Jr. Some right front damage to that 19 Toyota.
Quite a bit of damage.
Further back, Kevin Harvick went off track in turn number 1, and as you saw, he's made a pit stop for repairs, but is still on the lead lap.
Well, there's a lot of things that are going on right there. First of all, you got one guy that within like the last 5 minutes.
Rusty, boys, Rusty. Here we go.
Under green. 17 laps to go. What next?
Oh, no! Kurt Busch.
Whoa, aboard.
Wow.
Man, he just went to DeLand.
Man, you do not want to be the leader going into that first turn.
No.
Well, how about the guy?
Is there a bump or something, a transition down there that allows that to happen a lot easier than you think?
Well, it just entices you in there. And the biggest thing for Kurt Busch right here is he's been able to follow suit getting in there. Now he's leading the charge. You don't know exactly where that is. Your mark getting into turn 1 is of race pace. When you're on that restart, you're going in a different pace.
Hey, see, we're Brad's.
It's not going to work.
Oh. Caution is out for Martin Truex.
Oh, no!
Man.
It's just not meant to be.
Boy, I'm so curious to see, was this him racing with his teammate? Did maybe some dirt? Oh, that's right. He had gotten by him. So, did maybe somebody lay some dirt? He just ran it kind of loose through there.
Exactly like Kevin Harvick.
There's an old saying in road racing, the leader cleans the track for everybody. He gets to drive through all the crap that was put down by everyone. And Brad Keselowski has spun from 8th place at the bus stop.
You know, Jeff, the Roval put in turf right there.
Oh, another goes around. Oh, and he clipped Bowman. Heavy damage to the right rear.
Caution.
3 to go.
Boy, a caution would change things in a big way.
Nope. We stay green.
The last thing Chase Elliott would want is a caution right now.
Busher, Reddick, and Bowman.
Yeah, he got dumped.
Ooh, boy, just Bowman tried to squeeze by. You can see Reddick was just, he felt like he had the lane to get to the inside of Busher. Busher blocked him and closed the door, and then Reddick used the front. You got one more lap. That's what you got.
Yeah. White flag. 1 lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank.
You're going to see some dive bombs, I can promise.
Well, it's not from a lack of effort here.
Nope.
Big dive bomb right there.
I think Ryan Blaney knows. He's got the grip. He's got a fast race car. Just can't make any mistakes. But Chase Elliott stepped up the aggressiveness.
I think if Chase can stay close.
Oh,
there's a
mistake.
mistake. That's a mistake you were talking about. If he can stay close to him in this bus stop, Chase is faster, better getting into the bus stop than Blaney.
Well, that right there is where Blaney made his move the last time by, and now you can see he was able to stretch it out there again.
All right, off to turn 5, which is the west
big
torch.
dive bomb.
Chase Elliott really carried a ton of speed in there.
For whatever reason, Blaney cannot get in the corner anymore.
Yeah, when it's weird, right? When he was behind Chase Elliott, he was able to get him by 2 or 3 car lengths.
Got to get set up here and get
Oh,
off
little
this
wheel
corner.
hop by the 9, I think.
Huge dive bomb opportunity coming, getting into the bus stop in the back straightaway.
All right, what will they bring back besides the steering wheel? Here we go to the banking for the final time.
Case of beer. That's too much gap, Jeff.
I agree. He's going to have to close up the gap enough here and then get close enough to him out of the bus stop for the chicane on the front straightaway.
How much
Is it
better
too
he
much
is
or
in
just
the corner?
enough?
Oh, you
he's
see
in trouble.
Blaney struggling.
A little lockup there.
Oh, pressure.
Chase
this
is
is what he
there.
needed
Chase
right
is
here.
there.
Chase has a chance. Blaney has the acceleration. They're up in the east banking for the final time.
It's going to all come down to this braking zone.
Try to force a mistake is all Chase Elliott can do. Push him. You know he's going to push him hard. Man, he's got brake. Look how the brakes are
Wow, he
hot.
gets there. He's there.
Brakes are
Elliott
smoked.
inside in the chicane.
Oh!
Pounds Ryan Blaney.
Here comes Kyle
Kyle
Busch.
Busch. And it's a drag race to the line. Kyle Busch is going to steal the Busch Clash.
How about that?
Oh, I did not see that one
Hey, I
coming.
thought they were buddies.
I thought they were not any.
Too hot. Watch the brakes in the back of this
So
thing.
he knows that Chase Elliott's going to try that outside move. Finally gives him enough room. Chase gets in there. Oh man, Chase really just door slammed him right in the middle of the corner.
You can see his brakes just throwing sparks off of him.
You can see Chase had his hands full there. They were both pretty deep.
Man, they won't let us in a coach lot anymore.
Could
wanna
get
go.
excited down there tonight.
And for the second time, Kyle Busch wins the Busch Clash with a last lap pass. He did it in 2012.
Out of it, so that's about
It
it.
is a big racetrack.
All right, the white flag waves. We have 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Call it, Jeff. Off at 2, getting into 3.
I thought it might happen going into 1, but now it's going to happen down the back straightaway. Let's see if they back it up. Look at Logano
Oh,
backing
yeah.
it up.
But Joey kind of backed up to them.
Oh, here
You're gonna
comes
see it
Denny.
run.
Oh, he's getting
Oh!
squeezed by his teammate. Boy, this is
That
going to
really jumbled up that line. These 2 Fords are in a good spot right here.
And
Yeah.
Ty Dillon picks up a couple of spots.
That just took all the momentum away, but I think Joey's still working it.
One more chance right here.
Joey Logano's won his last
Oh, he's
2
got it on
duels.
the
Here he
inside.
goes. Bell goes with him on the bottom.
Side draft coming from Eric Almirola. Try to stall him. There it goes.
Here comes his help with the 20 car. What's
20's
the 20
gonna
going
go
to do?
with
Try to
him.
put him.
And it's Almirola coming to the line. They are 3 abreast. It's Almirola over Christopher Bell.
Oh,
That's Cole Custer with a single car spin.
Into the
Oh,
wall.
right side damage.
I'd say it's
Back
pretty
up.
hard.
You're burning more fuel than anybody else.
Most definitely. You're throttled down, almost wide open. Everybody else can save a little bit here and there. And the crew chiefs and the engineers on the...
Trouble back straight away. Chase Briscoe, Kaz Gralla, Anthony Alfredo is around. The 13 of Garrett Smithley.
You just knew it was a matter of time, as aggressive as this group was being, and we knew we were coming to pit any lap. Oh, bummer for those guys. I think is that Chase Briscoe?
Chase Briscoe.
Yeah, he
I'd
just
say
gets
he lost
loose.
a tire or something.
Oh, yeah, he either gets loose or lost a tire.
Did it right in front of Ross Chastain, who drives by, but Gralla and Alfredo are not as fortunate.
Yeah, the rest of these guys are just victims, just trying to avoid the accident.
It'd be hard to... I can't tell if the left rear's down right there, Jeff. Maybe it was an arrow thing. Just come around on him.
I mean, right there, it looked like it was up, but he definitely in an awkward position right there. You know what I've actually seen in that situation, Clint?
I think the
I think
tires
are up, but I've seen where you get a little bit of extra air to the nose. Sometimes the way that air comes around the rear of the car can actually put more downforce in the front of the car and make the car pin the nose and turn the car sideways.
Especially off the corner like that. You kind of get an arrow push, you start tight, wind some wheel in it, next thing you know, it catches and away you go.
That left rear definitely is up. Of course, the left front down after you slide it and flat spot it. And Boy, pretty heavy damage here to Gralla.
The drivers involved. Noah Gregson still in the transfer spot. And right there with that lead pack. There's Smithley.
Smithley's going to turn the two.
No. Smithley got into Keselowski.
Gregson hard in the wall.
So is the 24 Byron. Chastain. That's a front row starting car, guys.
Not anymore.
Nope. And off the trial where he goes to the middle, and Brad
just didn't
comes
know
up. He came down a little bit. I just don't think Brad knew he was there and gave him enough room.
Well, that's that race. Yeah, that's that desperation race that we were talking about. I mean, he had to get ahead of Noah, and he was going for it right there. For him, put everybody in a pretty tough situation. That's that's the duels, man.
See, Gregson's the car. 62 was immediately in front of Smithley. That's who he was racing. Wasn't even thinking about Keselowski.
No.
One went down, one came up.
No, I mean, there's kind of two races within the race.
Definitely.
And you got to be aware of your surroundings at all times. Boy, bummer for that Exalta Chevrolet. William Byron.
Well, that's a huge hit.
Big hit. Big hit to that race car. Going to have to bring out a backup car, and not going to be starting the Daytona 500 on that front row.
So we will go to NASCAR overtime to finish this one. And here's the view from Kevin Harvick's rear bumper.
You can also see the 62 move down just slightly.
Get back to pit road to be repaired. So Noah Gragson racing for the memory of team owner Mark. A multi-car crash will send us into overtime in duel number 2. Green. It's on. The next flag will end the race. There's the white flag. 1 to go.
Well, these guys are running hard, trying to get a run.
Here comes Kevin Harvick pushing.
Austin Dillon's there to second, but well, I think that's going to stall things out and give this to Martin Truex Jr. Those guys behind him are going to need a lot of help.
Here
comes some help from the 12.
It's coming, but is it going to be enough and soon enough?
Oh, watch Austin Dillon right here.
Launch engage.
Oh, there he
comes.
Whoa.
Truex tried to block Dillon, and he got 3-widened.
How about the run by Bubba?
How about this push, Kevin Harvick?
Another one. Yep,
Austin Dillon are going to have to get up and block him. Going to have to get up. Here
the
it comes.
Inside, yep.
There's the block. Dillon to the bottom. Here they come, racing to the line. It is Dillon.
Power move right there.
Nice job, man.
Huge push Kevin Harvick gave to Austin Dillon.
That's how you do it. That's how we do it.
That was a move. You knew Bubba had to get up there and make the block.
He did everything
tried.
he could.
Little loose on the bottom of that racetrack.
Oh, trouble.
Thad Moffitt spins on the infield, and we have more wrecking.
It's the 45 for Rich Bickle. Some damage. There's Thad's left for a quarter panel. I don't think there's a tremendous amount of damage. We saw the tire smoke there from what happens here. There's the 46, 45 running side by side. You see Dave Mader, like Chase was talking, Dave Mader moved up a little bit. I think Thad thought about going through the middle, and then the hole closed up. He made contact with Rich in the 45 car.
Let's take a look on board. What do you see here, Chase?
Yeah, so right here, I mean, you can only see, obviously, the 63's tail bumper, and they're starting moving around. It's one of those deals you moved up, and you think you can fill that hole, and once you get there, just the air coming off both cars, and just closed up. So, fortunately, there wasn't more cars that were caught up in that, but yeah, that's just part of racing here. Every time you come here, you're going to have situations like that.
Let's take one more look.
See, the 63 of Mader also had a little bit of contact, saved his car.
Jack Wood was almost in trouble there, was able to save it.
Really run 4 wide pretty comfortably.
Derek Griffith to the point in the 55.
Ooh, look at the contact.
Oh! Gracie Trotter gets into her teammate, Derek Griffith, then he goes around and they continue crashing.
Greg Van Alst, Nick Sanchez. Scott Melton, the 69 car, also involved. Look at all the damage to Derek Griffith's car.
He had just gotten in the lead, had the 3 teammates around him.
Greg Van Alst, what a...
Oh. Ran top 5.
Yeah, just a horrible end to this day. What's so happy. Talked to him in the garage area this morning. Look at all the damage to Griffith's car.
Derek had a great run. Just started leading.
Scott Melton and Bill Kimmel's car.
He's going to back into the box, Phil.
Yeah. Derek Griffith, the 55. The 25 of Gracie Trotter gets in the back of him, gets him sideways, and then I guess maybe he lost a little bit momentum, and Gracie looked like she was just trying to stay in line, but made more contact. There's the initial contact right there. It gets him sideways, and that slows his momentum. And then she just couldn't stay off him right there. And around he goes. He makes a little bit of contact with his other teammate, Drew Dollar. Then Greg Van Alst, Nick Sanchez come along with absolutely nowhere to go. Tough break for Derek Griffith, who had such a good car. How about Brett? That's why Brett Holmes had 19 top 10 finishes in 20 races last year. Heads up driving like that.
6 cars involved. Dollar was our pole sitter. Sanchez, Trotter, Van Alst, Griffith, and Melton. They've got him off of pit road now. Cleanup continues.
I think there was minimal damage to Gracie's car. I think she just touched him enough to turn him around, and then I don't think there's any more damage to her car. What great pictures here.
Awesome job by
Watch that 23 right in the middle. Brett Holmes just waits and waits and waits till the track clears.
Is that what they call threading the needle?
Yeah, the eye of the needle. The eye of the needle.
Now we just need a camera looking back. I love seeing the eyes in situations like that. Look at that slow motion.
Does the 73 get through right here too? If so, that's really threading the needle.
That may be my early.
That's the sweet
early leader for the Reese's Sweet move right there.
See where they shake out. We'll continue. We'll drop that green flag again in just moments.
Protective of the bottom a little bit here. The outside seems to fall back. You got to be smart here, man. If we're going to make a move, we got to have 2 or 3 go with us for sure. I think we're better off letting the others make the mistakes still, man. I agree.
Something happened to the 0-1 of Chuck Hires. You saw Gracie Trotter get into the back of him. I think he was just trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, it looked like off of turn 2 there, the right front was down and was running almost there in the top 5.
You see he has some damage. As you mentioned, that right front is down. The 8 of Sean Corr was able to get by. Look at the damage to the 25 of Gracie Trotter. Was not able to avoid the 0-1.
Got a car in the wall.
4 to go.
Yeah.
Coming off of turn 4.
I must have jinxed it, I guess. Scott Reeves, the 88. You can see all the damage.
He's going to mow the lawn here for the track crew at Daytona.
You can see all the evidence of the rain we had earlier today.
He might get. Look at that. I mean, that's just a testament to what these track workers did in drying this track early on, because you see how soaking wet the infield is. Jamie, what are you hearing? Let's take a look exactly what was happening coming off turn 4. Cut that right front.
Wow,
hard
that
hit.
Just such a bad angle. That was a hard lick.
Cutting all that grass down. Somehow they'll make it beautiful for tomorrow's Daytona 500. I don't know if he'll be able to drive that car out of the grass at this point.
Last year, Daytona was the only start that Scott Reeves made. He finished 33rd in that one.
They will get Scott Reeves out of the grass, and we will get back to racing. Only 4 laps to go here at Daytona. You're watching the Arkham and Arts series on FS1.
Flag. Pace vehicle is off. Johnny Sauter on the pole. 4 drivers have won from the pole, none since Kaz Grala in 2017. Let's see if Sauter can get it done. We're racing at Daytona. And we've got contact already. Didn't even get to the start-finish line before some vehicles got tangled up, including, oh, what a heartbreaker for the 44. They had so much expectation tonight. James Busher.
He started last, Vince, and yet
what happened? All the way in the back.
Yeah, there's that Tanner Gray in the 15. You can see he didn't go. Where's that?
Derek Kraus, the 19, I think, is involved in that as well. Something with the 15 having an initial problem. Tanner Gray didn't get going.
And, you know, there's just no way for those drivers to see through the other trucks. Joe Cobb on the bottom does a nice job. You really rely.
Be aggressive. It's so tough when you're coming to the green like that.
Let's reset it. Going to have to do it again here at Daytona.
I believe he's going to need more than that.
I'm going to let you have that one. I don't want to drive that one.
Some
2 truck of Sheldon Creed really loose, needs an adjustment on that truck to keep the back in the racetrack.
Watch it.
Oh,
there it is.
Couldn't tell if they actually made contact or not, but it was so close. The 0-2 is Chris Wright, the rookie, making his first start here at Daytona.
You got to be aware when you're running in the back that
Rouse in that 19 truck.
That right side's taking a beating today.
Back under caution at Daytona. It's been a tough night for Derek Kraus already.
He's gotten
contact a couple of times.
Shockwave on his truck. It's been a series of shocking events for this team.
Had some contact on track on the first lap of the race, then some contact on pit road.
Look at that view. That's a great camera shot.
He's drifting and mowing the grass.
That left rear tire was cut down.
This is how it began. Watch Derek Kraus.
See the 19 truck on the right outside, middle of the screen. There it goes. I think.
Yeah,
you
see it already starting to wiggle, and he knows that. He makes a great save right here, not to get into the outside wall, and also everyone else did a great job around him not to get into him.
That's David Gilliland that. Caution is out, and again it's the 19 of Derek Kraus.
Also the 40.
Ryan Truex
involved as well. He's got flat tires, I think. No damage, it doesn't look like.
It looks like he cut a tire down again.
Yeah.
You know, once you get the damage, it's hard to keep all the tires clearance. You also don't know if a crush panel, something's fallen off, and then you're running over it. But that's 2 what appears to be left rear tires. It looks like the right rear actually is cut down this time.
Yeah, I think it got the right rear, but it wasn't significant. Well, it's pretty significant. But what all he's been through, I think he can still run on.
There you see Truex sliding through the picture.
I think he got bumped from behind, Vince.
Well, I would agree.
Yeah, and he's going to be okay. It doesn't look like he has any body damage at all from the flat. If you're going to have flat tires, it's a great place to have it because you're so close to pit road.
38.
You know, we've talked about teammates and sticking together and trying to work together, but I'm feeling like that father-son bond is probably going to be a little better than any teammate we have.
Oh, and that's the 3 of Jordan Anderson that has gone around. Contact with the wall, and the 22 of Austin Wayne Self involved.
Strong run for Self. I don't think it'll do either one of these 2 in. Looks like they're going to get away with that.
Jordan Anderson finished
tomorrow in the Xfinity race. He hopes.
Now we're getting close on.
Oh, is that a bump draft gone bad there, Jamie? Looks
I'm
like
gonna have to have another angle of that. I couldn't tell what happened.
Friesen was involved in that. Surprisingly, Derek Kraus wasn't.
He's gone to the garage. Kraus has gone to the garage.
He's taking a break.
And Sheldon Creed was back there as well, jamming on the brakes. In fact, there's Creed right there.
He'll have to come get his tires. That was a lot of smoke. I bet he flat spotted his tires. That'll force his hand on strategy. But I don't, you know,
Where
he's
at, incredible.
Back to green at Daytona with 36 to go. That's Brian Doza in the 28. And Tyler Ankrum squeezing past him as Doza goes to the bottom. And Ankrum maybe got a bump in the back end from the 38 of Gilliland. And he's going to keep it. Almost contact, but was able to keep it clean.
Ankrum got lucky right there.
Yeah, and Sheldon Creed got involved as well into the 33
he is still wrecking
of Jason White
from Canada.
And Creed suffering some damage. Could have been a lot worse.
Oh, damage for the 52. Oh, he gets hit. He hits.
Doesn't give a pop to the 26 of Ankrum here.
Yeah, he's trying to push him on through, and Ankrum's bobbing and weaving, and here comes Gilliland, I think right there.
Yep.
Yeah, Ankrum's truck was already light in the back. It didn't look like Todd hit him very hard there, but when you're in the middle, most vulnerable, and he's so lucky right there that he didn't get collected.
Yeah, because Sheldon wasn't driving through there.
No,
he
Sheldon
was
slowed
shoved.
down, and Jason, it looked like, got into him, and they couldn't stop.
Ankrum was wasting no time on this restart.
Well,
squeezing
you can't.
past Doza, absolutely.
John Hunter off. Did a nice job of preparing for what might happen.
And there was David Gilliland.
Yeah.
Narrowly escaping as well. A lot of close calls. There certainly was some contact, but it could have been a lot worse.
Teams get a little frustrated when a back marker, a truck that hadn't been up to pace, stays out and leads the race because of what could happen. And you saw what happened.
And that's what normally does happen when you get somebody that stays out that hasn't been up there most of the night.
So multiple trucks involved, but I don't know that any of them suffered damage that's going to cause them to be done for the night. Maybe 3 wide.
Oh, and Moffitt's looking to make it 4. Oh, that is not good. There's 4 wide. I knew it would happen.
Truck's not stable, and that's going to send Gilliland around, and big wreck. Big damage to Gilliland and Stuart Friesen.
I mean, that's just 4 wide, Jamie.
Tate Fogelman in the 12 took big damage there as well. Oh, what a tough finish for Todd Gilliland. Many of us in the racing community heavy hearts this week after Huff's passing last week. The GM at CR7, Cody Robaugh's team, and so well known and liked in the garage. And
you see, Todd Gilliland was kind of indecisive there. He didn't go to the second lane, and he didn't go up and block that outside lane, and that's what put them 4 wide. You get in that position and you're waiting on your spotter to clear you one way or the other, and if the spotter's not 100% sure, you get stuck there, and that's what resulted in getting 4 wide, and there's just not enough room. I mean, you said it, Michael. Talladega, we can run 4 wide, and it's hairy, but you can do it. It's just really hard to do here at Daytona.
And it looked like Matt Crafton lost the nose of his truck. It looked like he pushed up.
Well, he's missing a fender.
Yeah, so watch right here. Gilliland's okay. Maybe.
Oh, it looked like he had a little help from behind, actually, that shot him up.
That'll make you lose the front end of your truck.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Only 3 vehicles took significant damage. I think Lassard and Ankrum maybe banged doors, but no real damage for either one of them.
I saw Moffitt bounce off the outside wall too, so it'll be interesting to see how much damage he has.
But if you think about it, Todd Gilliland was leading at the start-finish line here.
The 38 of Gilliland getting a little help from the 88 of Crafton, collecting a couple others in the process. Not too heavy a damage there.
Saw Moffitt bounce off the wall in this wreck, but I haven't seen him come to pit road yet. See right there, Moffitt.
Yep.
Maybe just minor damage.
Yeah, it didn't look like he hit that hard.
Right.
I didn't see any tire marks after he hit the wall. the front. You see Matt Crafton now is pulled up. He likes what he sees in his mirror.
Oh, and look, big block there by Enfinger, but it was a little bit late. Austin Hill around the outside.
Camping World 20 to go. 3 wide at Daytona.
That is awesome. Look at that speedy drive. Matt Crafton with a big push down the back.
Haley Deegan. Contact. It had been a very solid night for Haley. She had run inside the top 10 much of the first 2 stages.
She can start that.
Up, drop it on a block and bend that up maybe.
See if we can tell how it started. Oh, way in the back.
Yeah, really hard to see what happened there.
How difficult is it to see when you go through that speedy drive? I mean, from
I think
our
it's
perspective,
worse.
it looks like it's really difficult.
I think it's worse from the perspective we see here on TV, but definitely it's hard to see through that. But you got to remember, it's only 2 or 3 seconds, and you're essentially going straight. If nothing happens in front of you, see her has a pretty big impact she had on that inside wall.
She had an onboard camera. We get a look at how difficult it is to see. Here you go.
Oh,
I think that wasn't an issue at all.
I don't know if someone got into the back of her.
I think the trucks around her, maybe Jordan Anderson saw all the speedy drive and maybe backed out of the throttle, and she drifted up and tried to turn a left, take a left away from him. Now the 18 smoking too.
Wow, Enfinger hanging on to this one despite some smoke, and now Chandler Smith has gone around. He was up fighting for the lead, gathers it up without hitting anything, but
yeah, I don't think we're gonna have a caution.
Green is still
they're gonna
out.
Stay green here.
Still racing, and now they're crashing. Timothy Peters involved. Tyler Ankrum has taken a big hit. Wow. John Hunter Nemechek. Several contenders. Heck, Timothy Peters and Chandler Smith had just. So watch up front. Contact right there.
That was another case, Jamie, of catching that apron, and it just bounced the 18 up the hill, and that's where that smoke came from.
Yeah, and so the thing is, when the truck travels, when it gets to the corner, that's why it's filling the cockpit up with smoke.
Oh, Timothy Peters trying to get in a hole that's not there.
Yeah, Drew Dollar in the 51 didn't have anywhere to go.
No, that was not Drew Dollar's fault. To see if he survives this little conflict, and then Peters right back up into traffic. How much damage does Johnny Sauter get?
Clip Sauter there in the left rear.
Carson Hocevar.
Well, a lot of innocent victims.
You know, we hear it all the time. When you want to make a move, you just have to be so aggressive. Because if you ease down like you see Timothy Peters there, that gap gets filled up, and it's, you know, it's 4 laps to go right now. No one's going to give you any room or let off at this point.
That's just trying to close a hole that was already occupied.
Yeah.
Several of those drivers just had absolutely nowhere to go.
John Hunter looks like not major damage.
Now, his didn't look too bad, at least on the right side that I saw.
It's right on board with the 16 of Austin Hill, and
Tyler Ankrum's
get
farming.
a look at it. Well, that's all torn up. Here's that Austin Hill on board. Look at the hands.
Gosh, it gets violent in a hurry, doesn't it, Jamie?
Yeah,
you hear that?
I saw a different replay from Austin Hill. He barely got clipped in the right rear, and it shot him up in front of everybody.
There's nothing the 51 truck could do.
No, absolutely not.
And he does a nice job after the contact. Watch him. He keeps that truck pointed in the right direction.
See Austin Hill get turned into the wall right there.
Look at the 2 truck of Sheldon Creed and Matt Crafton. They've been involved in about everything tonight, but just keep on making their way through the messes.
Ankram's just along for the ride there, isn't he?
Oh, no doubt. He's no brakes. The left front's all locked up.
The landscaping crew going to have a little extra work to do. Look at that.
Here comes John. An action-packed 2 laps.
Overtime in the series opener at Daytona. Ben Rhodes and David Gilliland.
Nice push by Crafton. I like the way Crafton just maybe had just a bit of spacing.
A little more gentle when he hit. Sheldon hit David so hard that he pushed him out, but he's locked onto him right now. Ben Rhodes has got out front. He's probably going to try to block both lanes if he needs to.
This is not great for Ben Rhodes, other than the fact he's got Matt Crafton, his teammate, behind him.
Creed jumps to the outside. Gilliland getting hung out in the middle. Corey Roper giving a shove.
Big push from that 404 truck.
Here comes Chris Wright in the 0-2. Look at the big push he gives to Sheldon Creed.
Rhodes jumps up front to block Creed, and now back to the bottom.
Yeah, great move there by Ben Rhodes to move up and kind of stall out the 2. But I'm telling you, the 04 truck is pushing Sheldon Creed. Look at that.
White flag.
Huge
1 to go. Creed up top, and there was some contact in the wall by Roper, and now Roper goes to the bottom.
Good move.
Corey Roper to the front. Crafton giving his teammate Ben Rhodes a little shove. Can they get past the 0-4 of Corey Roper? Contact in the 22 of Austin Wayne. Self going around. We stay green on the final lap at Daytona.
Ben Rhodes is backed up. He's going to get a little bit of a run right here on him. Here comes his teammate.
Roper, the Texan, trying to hold on. 43 years old.
Oh.
Big crash, and Ben Rhodes going around the outside and across the line.
Jordan Anderson with the huge run.
But it's Ben Rhodes, the winner.
Wow. That's crazy what happens on the last lap here.
Yes, Vince. Wow. We talked about how aggressive.
Long time, he knows what he's doing, and you see the help he gave me there. He blocks it. This wouldn't have been possible without Matt Crafton, and I owe him a huge thank you.
We saw you back up to get to Crafton just a little bit there. Was that calculated on your part?
That was one of the race-winning move, I think. Jordan.
On the Cup side in those dual races, Tony, Thursday, it seemed like it took somewhere around that lap 10 mark for cars to start. Oh, got smoke right there.
And that's Alex Labbe in the 36. He's a Canadian known for his road racing ability, driving for Mario Goslin, and that will bring out our first caution. It happens at lap 5.
Did a great job.
A lot of things that could have went wrong right there.
Was running 17th when he got out of shape.
Man.
All by himself.
It just shows you the difference in what that air does to those cars, in particular off the corner. Sometimes you'll have a lot of wheel in it. Sometimes you just never know. Got loose and spun around.
Early caution at Daytona for Alex Labbe. Justin Allgaier scored as the race leader.
Whoa.
That's a
whoa. That was big.
That's a big moment right there.
Caught it not once but twice right there. Got loose again, then got into Cindric and got him loose. Heads up driving by both of them.
Wow.
And Daniel Hemrick right here.
But that's what we talked about at the beginning too, about having young drivers. You can talk about that game plan, and then as soon as you put that helmet on, somehow it squeezes the blood flow.
Spinner. Brandon Jones, who won the opening stage, crashes at the end of stage 2, and more contact. Wow, that was scary. Cody Ware in the 17 got him.
And they had a lot of rain today at Daytona. The infield is absolutely, I mean, there's standing puddles in the infield, so we knew if somebody got down there, it was going to be big trouble.
Definitely worst case scenario. You saw it fold the front end. Business on it. Oh, got put 3 wide. Yep. Moved up to pull a side draft off those guys. That guy got to his inside, moved down to make the block, and it was too late. That's the way I saw it. How about you, Tone?
And that happens so often.
Yep.
It's so easy for that to happen. You get your eyes looking to the right. Next thing you know, the left side's closing in on you, and that's the result.
5th caution of the day. It was coming out anyway with the stage in, but Brandon Jones went for a big slide through the infield grass, and he is done.
And off, he was along for the ride. But you see here, he moved up to take a side draft, kind of moved back down, got hooked in the left rear, and it was along for the ride. Big hit.
And that's what we were talking about earlier, of having to make those split-second decisions as a driver. You're hearing what your spotter's telling you, and you're trying to side draft there to get to the line. Then when you realize you have to get left, the amount of time it took to make that adjustment and get down there, that gap is closed up already. And it doesn't take but an inch or two
just
to get clipped and get turned like that. And the hard thing about these infields, and we see this at a lot of tracks that have tri-ovals that have grass in them, either the grass is really tall, but like you said, at Daytona, it's really short, but the problem is you have to be able to drain the water. So that infield, even though it looks really, really flat, it's not flat. It has a lot of areas where that water has to drain down, and so that creates those humps. And with the splitter heights as low to the ground as they are, it doesn't take much of a difference there to get that splitter to dig in.
Tony, if I can get Pam to back this up one more time, did you see how close you were to spending a bunch of money in that wreck? I mean, he barely
I was
missed
trying to not
rod.
look at that, but I have to admit that I caught that.
Watch how close he is to hitting Riley Herbst right here, which is your automobile.
That'll be the black and green 98 when Herbst comes
He
through.
spins down, and when he comes back up across the track, Tony, this is the car it's your car that he almost hits right here. It's the black 98. Watch this. Woo! I'm not sure. I think it did hit it a little bit.
He might have got a piece. And real close for Michael Annette that was able to sneak by right there.
Oh, it's not looking good for you, Tony. Looks expensive. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Is that a near hit or a near miss?
I think it was a near miss. I don't think he got him.
He nearly hit him, but he didn't hit him.
Baby.
And he got LeBay. LeBay following Michael Annette. The one gets through unscathed.
Major damage to that car.
Wow.
Keep coming. He's going to come back up on the track. Just watch the 19. Watch the 19. Keep digging. Dig. High.
Hey, Tony, you remember when you were talking about that demeanor and how it
and this race team, I'm looking forward to this year. It's going to be a really good one for us, I have a feeling.
Yeah, glad you're okay. Thanks, Brandon. Adam?
And when these guys pit, I want to see what they do to the 2-car of Myatt Snyder, because that contact on the right front could be a little bit of damage there. Man, that impact is incredible. After 9:30 this morning,
and everything accordions in the back. Everybody's trying to jockey for position, get down to the bottom to where they can pit.
And this 9 times out of 10 is miscommunication.
You see it right here with the 9 start to get loose right here. Oh, then Michael Annette.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, this is miscommunication where the spotters mid-pack and back of the pack have no idea that those lead lap cars are getting ready to pit and miss that, so they don't give that information to the drivers. And they just think a second line's developing on the bottom, and next thing you know, as soon as they come off of 4, they start checking up.
Well, some of them aren't getting that information. I mean, that is, inside information you're getting from a team, from an organization, obviously from a manufacturer like that, but you can see everybody getting on the binders to try to figure out what they're doing.
that's Cindric leading them. Looked like Josh Berry was going to come down. Justin Allgaier.
All accordion, clear from the front.
And watch the 9 car in the center of the screen there. bam, gets hit in the back. He's got the wreck made. He's done a good job of staying out of trouble, and then gets hit from a car from behind.
Heads up move from Austin Cindric and his team too, because you could see pit road closed, the light went on, and he immediately darted up from the lead. Obviously gave up the lead right there, but could have been worse.
Let's go on board with Brandon Godovic. This is the snapmobile.shop onboard camera.
Back it down, back it down, back it down. Stay where you are. Stay where you are. Watch all debris here. They're going to come across your nose. Easy right here. Easy. Easy. Work up. Work up. Stay where you are right here. Right here.
Pretty darn good job of heads-up driving, but phenomenal job from that spotter. Put him right on the money where he was wanting to be, the information, everything spot on.
It's something that I saw him do there that I wasn't used to doing in that scenario, 2 downshifts.
Yeah, and that'll slow you down. That's a great thing. I was going to say, man, he got a good downshift, helped him slow down, got another one in a second. Definitely great job all the way around by that.
And that's cars that are coming in for scheduled pit stop.
Spotter, Martin Truex Jr., the guy's 2 races he's ever spotted. That's a big deal, man.
What happened there? The tail out of me valve spun me out of the corner. Okay, 10-4. We're fine. So regroup. Pay attention out the front here.
Talking Myatt Snyder through an incident on track, and this is Justin Haley in the 11. What a save.
I tell you, the first one was a product, and we've seen it. That 0-2 of Brett Moffitt, he's been pushing everybody that way all day long. And watch this. As Haley moves up, air off of him right there. Got big time loose. That.
And a couple times today we've seen the outside line that's formed and got going, and that's become the dominant line. Now you got the Gibbs cars all on the inside, and they're separating each other right now.
Look at that.
Whoa.
Oh, there it
and
is.
there goes Ty
Man.
Dillon. Big crash.
Didn't see that coming. Ty Dillon moved out, tried to go 3 wide. Unfortunately, collected a lot of cars right there. I don't know. Tony?
The whole complexion of this race just changed with that caution right there. Mainly from the standpoint that you took 3 teammates, 2 of them just got the.
Titus made a move to the outside, went 3 wide. He almost made it. It almost worked, and it just didn't. Couldn't get clear. Tried to, spun out. And Daniel Hammer, he didn't do anything wrong there. I mean, it was just, he was along for the ride. Unfortunately, tore a lot of cars up right there.
And the hard part for Ty is he lost that push from Barry. You know, there's a whole car separation. He gets that run and loses him, and then just before he clears Hemrick, that's where he loses that momentum and doesn't have the push to finish that pass. He's by himself right here. He has no help, and that's just pulling him back right there, all right at one little small moment there that creates that whole thing.
See the 11 of Justin Haley involved, nowhere to go. He was looking for his 4th consecutive win on a super speedway. Would have matched Dale Jr. for the most wins in a row all time when it comes to Daytona and Talladega. Brandon Brown, who's been so strong tonight, got a piece of the action, but not done for the night, I don't think. See him there in that bright yellow 68.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's one that Ty Dillon's going to watch and wish he had a chance to do that one over again, unfortunately.
But at the same time, you can't really fault him for it. I mean, he's got to take that chance. If he thinks he's going to make a run, that's his opportunity to try to get to the lead and win this race.
That's our Ford Performance onboard camera carried by Austin Cindric. Riding here with Brandon Godovic, Sam Hunt Racing. This is Jeb Burton. And now on board with Justin Haley, his teammate, this is the Leaf Home Solutions onboard camera.
Boy, I don't know about you, but I don't miss that sound being inside the car and hearing all that.
No, it's definitely a terrible feeling, and you're just along for the ride, Adam. You really are. There's nothing that can explain the way that feels the way it is. You're trying to keep the thing directed, but boy, once she goes the other way, you're gone.
Watch those guys in the outside lane that get through, and among them A.J. Allmendinger. I mean, Brett Moffitt, Austin Cindric, pretty well out in front of it, but Allmendinger just able to clear it before they started sliding high. And I think the two at Myatt Snyder was also able to drive through without any damage. 15 laps to go.
And you're 100% right there. I mean, from his standpoint, though, he hasn't had an opportunity to be up front. He hasn't had an opportunity to win a lot of races. In his eyes, it was the right opportunity. And it's hindsight being 2020. It's not the right time, probably, especially when you got two teammates in front of you. But for him, he's probably sitting there saying, I'm going to run third behind these two teammates. And that's not necessarily the scenario that he wanted. And it did. It caused a massive crash.
Credit to Daniel Hemrick and him. As you saw right there in that last replay, great camera footage, by the way, they never did touch. He did get loose off his left rear right there, and away he went along for the ride. But in that situation, that's what you get.
Let's hear 54 radio here.
The 8 was hitting me so hard in the left rear, it drove me up the track, and I was trying to keep from wrecking everybody, ended up wrecking everybody.
Definitely was getting a shot down the back straight. I mean, there's no question. It's just, hey, that's.
They're going to do something different. I don't think you can count on them to just do what typically we would have seen the first half of the race.
We talked out of the first of the race. Austin Cindric, Roger Penske, all the races that he's won, even at this. Crash right there.
And here we go. Crash. 6 laps remaining. It's our 9th caution of the night. The 4 is Landon Castle, and that 44, Tommy Joe Martins.
Just got turned.
Yeah, it's going to need more than Blue Emu to fix that and make that feel better.
I hate it for Tommy Joe that he's hurt and unresponsive. He's just trying to get that car going. He is moving around inside the race car.
Just got turned in the right rear.
And that black car, Jeb Burton. And this is going to be the onboard, the visor cam with Jeb Burton. We'll see this replay next.
He's getting a big run there.
There you go, 4-car line. Nice work.
Yeah, just the hole he was going for started closing up. He had a huge run. I can't
and at
blame
this point
him
in the
for
race,
taking
you got
that.
to try to take it.
Yeah, I can't blame him for taking that opportunity.
One inside. You're clear. All clear.
Onboard, Brandon Godovic.
In line. Woo-hoo-hoo. Easy, come on.
That's what you hope for in that scenario, that the seas part like that.
Was his hand out the window waving to that guy behind him, thank you for not running me over, or please don't do it now? Man, look how close that was.
Godovic in the 26 never raced at Daytona before tonight. There you see that wet grass.
The grass always wins.
Somebody's got a lot of work to do tonight.
That is the sure bet that you can bet on at Daytona, is that infield is always going to win.
I mean, just brought to you by Credit One Bank.
On you tighter.
Inside line, big push.
Still outside. 20 has nothing. Still outside bumper. You're clear. Dinger's not. Our head helper's one back. Dinger's not clear. Dinger's not clear.
Shoving Cindric to the lead.
You're clear. One behind Stinger.
I can't help to think Brett Moffitt in that 02 car, as good as that car is pushing, won't be a factor in this thing. That's going to be a factor in the outcome of this race. Keep an eye on the 02 car.
But look at Allmendinger and Burton sitting there getting a big run. So now, if you're Austin Cindric, you have got to watch that mirror. You've got to listen to your spotter. You have to protect that line and be ready for any run. And here it comes.
Whoop. If I'm Harrison Burton, I get back up in front of that too. That's exactly right. Good move.
Coming back to the white flag. And once we get that, the next flag will end it.
Whoa. Hold on to it.
Wow.
Big push. You know it's coming. If
One
he can
lap
hold
to
on
go.
to it.
Cindric still leading. That's Harrison Burton right behind him. Third in line is Brett Moffitt. He's got a Truck Series championship he would love to win at Daytona.
Now it's just a matter of if anybody can generate enough momentum to give anybody a push to do something. Here comes Moffitt.
Here it comes. Big block out of Austin Cindric. Great job. Get up there. Oh, there's your opportunity.
Still
now
not over
Moffitt's
yet.
Turn.
Still not over yet. Moffitt has a shot at this still.
Look at Jeb Burton coming in the outside lane.
He's going to need a big push up there, Brett Moffitt, and that 10 car's got a lot of damage on it. I just don't see a huge push.
Here it comes.
And here they come, back to the start-finish line, through the tri-oval. Cindric is out front. He is a champion, and now he's a winner at Daytona.
Caution. At the end of lap number 3, Spanaway Washington's Derek Cope, the winner here in 1990. And who did he beat? Dale Earnhardt on the last lap. 62-year-old Cope is into the wall here on the third lap in number 15.
I think maybe a tire went down. It just happened very slowly as he came into turn 3.
Yeah, you could see him moving to 3 wide and trying to navigate around him. I agree.
In the field today.
And he's the only driver in this race that was in the 2001 Daytona 500.
That's like back in your era, Jeff. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Almirola Bowman.
Oh, the 24's on his side. Remember what I said, Clint, about 21 cars? I don't know if we got there, but man, that took out a lot of race cars and a lot of great race cars in there.
I know Eric Almirola was one of the front ones up front, so anytime that happens up front, you're going to take out a lot of them. There's Jamie McMurray.
All these cars stuck in that mud. We've had heavy rain down here overnight.
Tyler Reddick. That is a dozen of destruction.
When we talk about being aggressive, bump drafting, switching lanes.
Between Eric and the 20 car.
And look at the push coming from Kyle Busch to his teammate, Christopher Bell. Now that's going to get him to the rear bumper.
Big shot.
Yep. He just got over on that right side.
I could tell you another part of that equation, Jeff. These cars, they have skew in the rear ends. That's obviously for speed and make the cars go fast, make them pull up to other cars. It's also, in my experience, makes them squirrely. When that car hits him, it pushes that car into the steer of the rear end, and it can turn you in a heartbeat.
We're so reminiscent when Eric Almirola lost the lead in the closing yards of this race in 2018.
He was along for the ride. As soon as that contact hit, it just turned his car right. He took the words right out of my mouth. Unbelievable. Crushing blow to so many teams, so many efforts that it goes into having fast cars and being at this Daytona 500. That was a lot of heavy hitters in this one.
We're going to ride with Ryan Newman through this.
Well, look at that 24 car go up on the side on 2 wheels.
Smashed just as badly as he got with his primary car
that's
Thursday
his
night.
backup car.
At least a dozen cars involved. Oh, David Reagan torn up as well.
I'm back to 2 wide, but he's in the middle lane. Got to run with him in the middle lane. Caroline's got a little bit more of a run. 43 closing on you. But still has got spinning top, spinning top, spinning top.
Just nothing you can do when it happens up front like that.
Carnage in the first 15 laps of the Daytona 500. Here we go.
Now he's got to run. He had to check up. He's trying to get through the middle, so his heart rate's starting to go up already.
Worst case scenario too, has that big run coming up on what we all know is happening.
Jumps on the brakes here, a little wheel hop. He's in it at that point.
Look at that heart rate skyrocketing.
Jamie McMurray started this race at a heart rate of 100, so that tells you the intensity.
Armstrong landed on the moon. That was supposed to be computer controlled. There was a glitch. They gave him the gauge, which I'm incredibly grateful. Hamlin on point.
Whoa, wreck. Quinn Houff and Chase Briscoe.
And caution is out for the third time at lap 38.
I had just looked up naturally and was looking where the 14 was. He was back in like a 3-car pack off of the field a little.
Limping back to pit road.
Yeah, we're going to have to back it up a little bit more. They're already spun right there.
Clearly contact or something happened between these two guys that got them collected.
The left rear tire going down.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on the 20 as he goes into turns 1 and 2. You can see, boy, Bubba and Kyle get together a little bit. Stay out of trouble. Look at the left rear tire. You can already see right there. It's starting to get a little soft. Yeah. Slow leak in that left rear, and now you can really see it get on the sidewall and get flat, and it just comes around.
Incidental contact with Stenhouse and then him into Kyle Larson.
Yeah, and I think Stenhouse may have had a little bit of contact with the 5 of Kyle Larson. Yeah, right there, he's doing everything he can.
Long for the ride.
There goes Chase Elliott. Let's ride with him through this.
Just staying inside. It's a free as in your mirror. The 5 top gonna hit it. Mid, down, good down.
Boy, great job by Chase Elliott, as well as his spotter Eddie DeHunt helping him get through it. Now remember, the 20 machine of Christopher Bell, that car only changed right side tires on that last pit stop.
And Jamie McMurray's involved. White flag. 1 lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Okay, now these guys, their job, if you're Austin Dillon, one of those
guys.
Watch
this run Kevin Harvick has on the bottom.
Now the 5 can go to the outside. They're all trying to build that run that Keselowski did.
Here goes the 3-car.
Will Dillon have help? No, they come down to block. Logano goes back up. Keselowski with him. McDowell in tow. Dillon on the bottom.
The run's on top. Whoa! Teammates.
Around they go in a hard crash. Kyle Busch.
Kyle Larson.
Caution is out.
Bubba Wallace is in this. Austin Cindric. Hard hit by Kyle Busch.
Caution's out.
McDowell is first to the line, but will have to go back to the moment of caution, which ends the race. Brad Keselowski is climbing out. He's okay. Joey Logano we see taking off the gloves and the steering wheel.
I think McDowell's the winner of this.
Being directed.
Look at the damage to the wall.
It's a bumper cover up there. And there's Kyle Busch climbing out. That is a great sign, and that means stamps all video to determine the order of finish at the moment of caution.
Huge run, went for it. Joey was obviously had to block.
The question is, where did that caution come out? Chase Elliott pulls ahead of Michael McDowell.
Oh, look at the run he got right there, though.
McDowell, the run on the outside with a little help from Hamlin.
All right, we know the caution was out there. We saw some caution lights where Michael McDowell and the 3 of Austin Dillon pulled ahead of Chase Elliott.
And Michael McDowell from Glendale, Arizona, for Bob Jenkins Front Row Motorsports, has won the Daytona 500.
How about that?
Man.
That's a huge win for Michael McDowell and that team. Doesn't get any bigger than this.
And a huge crash for Dillon to secure the victory. The big one on the final lap in the final corner of the Daytona 500. Michael McDowell emerges with the victory. Brad Keselowski gets hard into the wall, trying to win the Daytona 500, and Kyle Busch piles in at over 190 miles an hour. Let's join Vince Welch.
Well, such a vicious hit, and the frustration not getting it tonight.
Keselowski will be scored 13th.
And I agree with Brad. I think he did everything right. He got the big push. He went to make the move. He's got so much momentum. There's nothing more that he could do. And I think Joey Logano didn't make an abrupt move. He just tried to slowly slow down that momentum, and they made contact.
And in hindsight, when you look at it now that you've seen the wreck and know what happened, well, he wrecked his teammate. That's not the case. He was going for the biggest race of his career. He hasn't won this Daytona 500.
Let's ride with the Toyota onboard camera and Bubba Wallace.
Big hit.
I love what I saw out of Bubba Wallace's decision making there, though. He let those guys race, right? He wasn't in it at that moment, right? He already had his issue, and he knew he couldn't help his teammates out anymore at that point. He pulls down low.